Sure. My name's Tom Blossom. I'm a VP of Customer Success. In terms of designing or working with designing onboarding flows for new customers and what can be self-paced versus what is hands-on, I think that a couple of things come to mind. One is just the reality of how many resources are available. And so if you're working with, I should say, a large number of smaller ARR customers, then it's unlikely that the team would be staffed to be very hands-on with a lot of small customers that are going through the onboarding process. But at a sort of enterprise scale where a land deal is six figures or high six figures or seven figures perhaps, et cetera, then that's a situation where it's very likely to be more hands-on every step of the way. The caveat I would throw into that is if you know that with your product that there's key, people use the phrase moments of truth, let's say, something like that, where a customer is either going to be on track or off track, then I think it's worthwhile at those situations to invest in being hands-on. That could be, from the data, if someone's not using the solution within 3 weeks the way they expected, there's a high likelihood of churn, then, for example, I would, in the onboarding flow that's being created or improved, think about how to get in front of that so you can identify if someone's at risk or account's at risk and adjust accordingly. So that's where I think manual intervention could really help. In terms of when I think the onboarding phase is done, to me, there's two phases that are likely right next to each other: onboarding and adoption. And so I personally think that the onboarding phase is done when customers get to their first value. So they're getting to something where they can say, oh, geez, I bought the solution to help me save money, to help me go faster, or whatever the case may be, and they're seeing some value and it's ideally measurable too, then that is where, and that could be a core group, maybe not all the target users inside the organization or all the expected users. And because then what you've done is you've started to build momentum, and as you move on to the next phase, the adoption phase, then you can leverage that success as you bring on more users, and it might be slightly different use cases or projects. Again, varies a lot what kind of product it is, but that's when you get into that, again, the next phase, the adoption phase, after you've gotten to first value for that first use case. Implementation manager, onboarding manager can be a good way to break into customer success because you know the customers, you know the product presumably well, which I think is critical. You know the pain points they're trying to solve, the value they're trying to achieve. So all those are good things. And then that's a great foundation to have. And when a CSM role opens, it's, I think, a great next step to move into that CSM role. My favorite hack or resource for customer onboarding, and in general for many things these days, is ChatGPT or something similar, honestly. I don't think that those tools as of today, when we're recording this, have the perfect answer often, but I think they provide some ideas that you can start to work with. So you could type in, what's a good onboarding flow for enterprise software being sold to data scientists, and it'll give you some ideas, and maybe you already knew 8 out of 10 of them, but there's 2 there you hadn't thought of yet, which you can add your list or research further if that's something that you want to include.